in his keynote address at the EFF's 9th anniversary celebrations in Mangaung yesterday, party President Julius Malema called for an independent unit to fight violent crime in South Africa. He also emphasized the need for land expropriation without compensation and the nationalisation of the Reserve Bank. Newzroom Afrikas Pelane Phakgadi is in Bloemfontein, and he was, in fact, at that event. Pelane, this might be a difficult question, but what was the main message from the Red Berets leader?
Definitely not as the main message, because there's quite a number of things that get touched on to talk about the achievements for the party as far as the 9 years of existence is concerned. They were also talking about how they are uncompromisable and non-negotiable 7 cardinal pillars as far as their success is concerned. The issue around the land expropriation without compensation, the issue now, of course, around the nationalizations of the mine, and as well as the banks. He says that in order for economic emancipation in the country, they need to be a serious work that is done as far as nationalization is concerned, and they're applauding themselves as far as work to try and deal with corruption in the country, saying that they have been able to expose a lot of corruption within the municipalities and government entities, and as far as went on to say that even in Parliament they've ensured that they are holding the executive to accountable. And of course, even in the introduction when you're talking, I mean, it's a shocking time that we are seeing on a weekly basis reporting about violent crimes in our country. When we're talking about if it's not young women being raped, then it is tavern shootings, and we are saying that there is a unit that needs to be created that will deal with violent crimes in the country, so that criminals could be met with a heavy-handedness from the police. But going back to the main factor of the day, when he was talking about the nationalizations of the bank, he believes that it is the only way that the country could be able to move forward towards an inclusive economy. Take a listen to what Julius Malema had to say.
Today, we speak about the state-owned bank. We want a bank that is owned by the state. And this bank must be the one that gives workers of government the bond at a reasonable cost. This bank must help finance the because there are a lot of workers in government who don't qualify for subsidy, who don't qualify for car finance, yet they're saying they are working. Why? They are not the target market of the commercial banks. So this missing middle needs a bank that is going to help them. And that bank can only be owned by state, because it will not be driven by wanting to make a profit at all costs.
And Michelle, if you can remember the times wherein, towards the end of the Jacob Zuma era, the then President Jacob Zuma era, when there was just a lot of protests that were happening, including even in Parliament. Well, the ATM, the African Transformation Movement, was part of the celebrations of the EFF yesterday, and they have called on Julius Malema as well as the EFF to be part of the non-compromising activities that are going to be leading up towards ensuring that Cyril Ramaphosa, as the president, does not have a comfortable stay, at least until he is accountable for the issues around Phala. Let's take a listen at what Vuyo Zungula had to say from the African Transformation Movement.
We believe we need to unite if we are to solve all of the problems that are faced by the poor, black and marginalized people of our country. Without unity, we are playing. And we need to do away with this notion that has been created by the white man, that because we as black people belong to different political parties, we are enemies. We are not enemies. Our enemies should be corruption, unemployment, poverty, and all of those things. It is for that reason we will always accept such invitations. And one of the most important things that we need to unite on as in immediacy, it is the issue of having no president. If South Africa does not have a president, it has an imposter. It has Lamtu who gets on top and does nothing.
The ATM was not only the only party that was present at the EFF's celebrations here in Bloemfontein yesterday. The UDM was also here, and its president, Bantu Holomisa, was saying that there is a need for a national shutdown and is calling on the EFF to join in on that particular sentiment. Take a listen at what Bantu Holomisa had to say as well.
The current Speaker of Parliament is also compromised because it looks like he's just singing for supper. How many times have we asked her to call the Parliament to discuss this Pala scandal? So we feel that we may have to work outside Parliament, like we did, Comrade Juju, a few years ago, when we marched to Union buildings. Those in civil society are casting doubt on us as politicians on whether we can solve the problems of South Africa. They think that we are all the same, and we have to prove a point to them by inviting the civil society, by inviting other political parties to converge under one roof and begin to identify the problems which are facing South Africa without begging anybody. So we hope that the leadership of EFF, other political parties in Parliament and outside Parliament, as well as SAFTU, I saw leadership here, SAFTU is here. We need to meet once more again and chart the way forward. Otherwise, if it's Songe Zandla, we are going nowhere. Amandla! Happy birthday.
Thanks very much indeed for that update. Live to us there from Bloemfontein.